Today I'm reviewing the NIOD Survival 30 SPF. And really quick, I just want to say, I purchase these products with my own money. I'll never waste your time with sponsored ads or videos. So if you want to help support the channel, check out nobsbeauty.com, check my Patreon community, or click on the links below. Okay, so this is one I'd wanted to test for a long time, but it took me quite a while to figure out how to get it in the US. But finally, I was successful at my smuggling. I'm getting good at this, so. Anyway, I've also got their Survival Zero. And they have a 20 and a 10 in between the two, but personally, I think 30 is the lowest SPF you want to go on a daily basis. So, okay, NIOD Survival Range is a range of 4 network-protected protection systems with technology that helps support healthy skin defenses against environmental and lifestyle-related assaults. Despite their lightweight texture, these formulations offer a broad selection of advanced technologies to target the effects of oxygen radicals, including superoxide radical, nitrogen radicals, carbonyl radicals, glycation, and advanced glycation and product pollution, smog, stress, infrared, and blue light. There we go. Just so you know, most sunscreens that contain physical defense, such as titanium dioxide or zinc, generally protect against blue light. So, okay. And if you're interested in my review of the NIOD Survival Zero, I recorded it a long time ago, and this is a repurchase of it. So, anyway, so I'm going to focus on the sunscreen aspect of this one. So, my first criteria is packaging. They switched to a while with a dropper bottle, and I actually think that's one of the reasons I didn't pick this up right away. I was very annoyed that they went from this pump bottle to a dropper bottle. And now, thankfully, they brought back the pump bottle. And if you use a lot of other NIOD products, or the Ordinary apparently, you can, once you're done with this, you can take this pump off and reuse it, which is a good tip, somebody told me. So, like the packaging. In terms of alcohol, denatured drying types of alcohols does not contain any of that. It is also fragrance-free. It doesn't have much of a noticeable scent, but it does have a very, very slight tomato-ish scent, which is probably because tomato is in the ingredient list. So keep that in mind. It's a light tomato scent. It dissipates quickly, and I don't have any problems with it. The manufacturing location for this one is Canada, so no issues with that either. So SPF. So this is coming from what Deciem states. The SPF 30, they say in testing it actually has an SPF of 33. The SPF 20, they state has an actual SPF of 22.7. And their 10 tests state that it is a 13.7. Personally, out of all those options, I highly recommend getting the SPF 30. The other ones just have, in my opinion, for daily protection, too little coverage. So I wouldn't mess around with them. I go straight to the 30. In terms of the UVA protection factor of this one, it only has 2 ingredients, 2 inorganic ingredients, which is titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. So we've got those 2 ingredients, which do a pretty good job absorbing rays from the whole spectrum. But with this SPF being 30, I'm not totally sold that it is providing state-of-the-art UVA protection. It's probably adequate for an average day use, but if you're going to the beach or going to be outside in the hot sun, this would not be my first choice for sunscreen that I would use, just because the SPF is a little bit lower than like a really intense day, and the UVA ray protection is probably a little bit lower as well. So I don't have any issues with it for like a daily use, but if you're going to be outside all day, it's just not one I would turn to. So keep that in mind. So there we go. Okay. So the filters used in this one. Oh, the SPF is 30. I mentioned that. So the filters used, I mentioned. I could not find the percentages. I think they keep them as a trade secret, especially since they have 3 formulas, which all have differing percentages. But they've got the zinc oxide, which does cover UVB, UVA1, and UVA2 rays. Then we've got titanium dioxide again. It's also a blocker. So, okay. So then in terms of the white cast, this one has an interesting cast. It doesn't have a tint to it. The tint comes from the ingredients, and it looks kind of tan when you apply it. And for me, once I smooth it on, I kind of appreciate that little bit of a tint because it looks okay. It gives me a little bit of a glow to it. However, people with deeper skin tones have mentioned that this color gives them kind of a gray or a purple cast to it, which they didn't appreciate. I'm super pale, so it didn't give me either look at all. So, but if you have a deeper skin tone, leave a comment what you observed. So there we go. So that's how it applies. The texture of it is kind of a liquidy texture, which smooths over skin pretty easily. You know, I find on days when my skin is really dry, it sets to a matte finish. On days when my skin doesn't feel as dry, and on days when I really focus on applying liberally my sunblock, using the 1/4 teaspoon, it ends up looking a little bit greasy. But the longer it sits and once it absorbs, it kind of looks more matte. So I think it might be all over the spectrum for people, but most people say it sets to a pretty matte finish. I'm a geek, so I'll test sunscreens how I normally apply them, and then sometimes I'll test them with the 1/4 teaspoon, and it does change my opinion of the sunscreens occasionally. So there you go. On my hand, it's set to a nice matte finish, so I don't have any issues at all with that. Then ease of use, very easy to apply. Personally, I think reapplying this one isn't as nice as some other ones just because of the tint, and then if you're applying over foundation, it kind of doesn't play so well with that. But yeah, so there we go. Pretty easy to apply for most people. Then we get to the fun part, which is antioxidants and beneficial ingredients of this one, and there's a lot. So I really started going in detail, and then I just started to type them up because I could probably talk about it for half an hour. Okay, so we've got Lipochromin 6, which is a super crazy strong antioxidant. We've got Inulin, which is a good probiotic. Tomato fruit extract, great antioxidant. Also can help with sebum production a bit. We've got Superoxide Dismutase, which is a great, very strong antioxidant. It's important antioxidant defense that is present in nearly every living cell that is ever exposed to oxygen. It's a great ingredient, so the fact that they put this in here is great. They've also got their Superoxide Dismutase Mist, which I'm finally trying, and I'm really enjoying it. Then we've got lutein, which is another good antioxidant. It's a fat-soluble carotenoid, probably the pigment in here, because that lutein is the ingredient that's found in dark green vegetables such as spinach, cabbage, broccoli, that has significant antioxidant properties when taken orally or applied topically. It also increases skin hydration and elasticity and absorbs potentially harmful blue light. Then we've got pycnogenol, a good antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-carcinogenic, and has anti-carcinogenic properties. Most studies on pycnogenol are on the oral benefits of it, but it's looking like it's also topically very effective. We've got knotgrass extract, which is an antioxidant that helps with UV protection. Altermonas ferment, a good skin-soothing ingredient. We've got Padina pavacnina extract, which is a skin-soothing algae ingredient. And algae are great for their effect of absorbing UV rays. We've got 10 different amino acids, which are good for hydrating. They're the building blocks of collagen in skin. They're also skin conditioning. We've got PCA, which is good natural moisturizing factors. Squalane, a good antioxidant. Jojoba seed oil, very good for hydrating. Vitamin E, melanin. So a really long list of really good ingredients in this sunscreen, which probably helps the zinc and titanium work better, some of those ingredients. So overall, it's impressive. And if you can't pick up the Survival, because you're in the US and you can't figure out how to smuggle them, the Survival Zero contains most of the same good ingredients, so you could use that under sunscreen. But I'll give you a link to where I picked it up below, so maybe you can learn to smuggle too. Okay. In terms of acneogenic ingredients in this one, we've got a few. It's got a long ingredient list, so it's not totally surprising that there are a few. We've got squalane, jojoba seed oil, vitamin E, stearic acid, and butylene glycol, which is 5 acneogenic ingredients, which most of those are more mild on the range of acneogenic. Okay, in terms of animal testing, this is vegan, gluten-free, and cruelty-free. Now my hand looks really nice and glowy. So there you go. Then in terms of performance, I really like this one. It's a nice skincare sunscreen combination. Probably geared towards lighter skin tones, drier skin, and those who aren't super acne prone. I like that there's the non-version. I like that they have the range. I wish the range, maybe they'd make like a 40 or a 50 and get rid of the 10 and 20. But I will say again, on days I'm going to be outside a lot, this is not my first one to turn to because it's not really sweat or water resistant. But on days I'm in and out, it's just fine. In terms of the price, so this is the full size, which is 1 ounce, 30 milliliters, and retails for about $30, making it pretty affordable. It's not the cheapest around, but it's certainly not super expensive. So with a 15 being a perfect score, I give this one a 13, which is pretty good. And I know a lot of people really enjoy this one. So I'm interested in hearing from you if you're somebody that enjoys this. What do you like about it? And which version do you use, or do you use both versions? So definitely leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. And stay tuned for more tomorrow. Thank you so much.